Yes, Nathan, how are you, man?
I'm not bad, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, like, I'm happy you're doing this, and I appreciate you doing this, bro. Like, I know it's been like a tough week for you and everything, so.
No, man, I appreciate it. Sorry, I've been a bit lackluster on getting back to you and that, but I've been a bit busy. But I'm here now, man. So thank you for getting me on.
That's right. Go on the Stone Island Cup and that.
Well, bro, I could not possibly get my hair out in this current state. So
What's the trim say, bro? You're gonna have to reveal it.
Oh, mate, there's absolutely no chance I can reveal it. It's all over the place, man. It's bad. Like, I obviously have quite long hair as it is, so it's getting long, man. How are you though?
I'm not bad. Like, everyone joining, if you don't know me, my name's Krish. I've been doing these interviews every day for the past 5 weeks, well, Monday to Friday-ish. And yeah, it's just developed, and it's got to the point where I'm doing interviews with the likes of you, Charlesy, Rusky, like all these DJs who I look up to in the industry. And if you told me 5 weeks ago I'd be doing this, then no way I would have thought I'd be doing this. Like, I started off doing like a 5-10 minute interview, and then now getting to an hour, 2, 3. Like with Rusky, I did a 3-hour one. So
that's mad.
Yeah.
No. Thank you for getting me involved, man.
Yeah. He helped me a lot with getting you and Charlesy involved. That's like it's helped me a lot, and I appreciate him for doing that.
Yeah, it's good, man. Good guy.
So how you been during quarantine? What have you been doing?
I'm all right. It's obviously a little bit tough, like having to stay indoors. Obviously, I'm used to being out all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all right, obviously, because the single's doing well. That's keeping me like entertained and it's keeping me excited. But it's getting quite real now that like we're not going to be able to go and party in the summer, and I can't even imagine how long it's going to be until we can be, doing club shows again. And it's quite sad, but just keep busy, bro. Just working on stuff that I can work from at home. I think as DJs, we're quite lucky. We can do a lot of work like remotely from home studios or like Skype calls and stuff. So it's been cool, man.
When do you think everything's going to go back to normal? I know that's quite a question that you can't really answer, but when do you think?
I don't know. Like, it's an awkward one. Everyone keeps asking me, and I think I personally would just be happy if I can have one more gig before the end of the year. I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I think we're gonna be. I was saying to a friend the other day, like, how long is it gonna be till you can have 80,000 people at Wembley for like Beyonce? I just can't see it being this year. But I'm hoping certain like smaller capacity bars will open like after summer, and we can at least have some sort of party, man. But at the minute, it's not looking good.
Yeah, as you're saying, like, I can't see anything big happening like that. I can't see any festivals happening at all for the next.
No, festivals
till maybe next summer. I don't know if next summer's even too early. I don't know.
I think festivals are done. Obviously, summer's done. So I'm starting to worry about next year as well. So I'm just hoping we can get it all sorted by the end of the year, and then next year we go again. But you just don't know, man. Like, anything could happen. Definitely.
So for everyone joining, I'm gonna get into like a discussion interview with Nathan. So how did DJing start for you? How did everything start?
Just my whole life, I always wanted to be a DJ. Like, since I was old enough to remember what I could even think. Like, I've always wanted to be a DJ, and I got like a pair of decks for a birthday party, for a birthday present from my parents when I was like 8, 9 or something. And then that was it. Couldn't get me off them. Started doing gigs at like my schools. Like, my schools were really supportive, so I was doing a lot of stuff at like school discos and that. And then as I was growing up, I was doing all my friends' birthday parties, and then it just became like the norm in my town. Like, if you have a party, you book Nate, and it just took off from there, man. So I've just been doing it since day one.
So from your school, what was like your first clubbing gig?
Well, I did a few gigs at like a small bar in my hometown, which, was my first bar gig. I was like 16. And then I got poached by like a nightclub in my town. Yeah. And they offered me like a Saturday night residency because they heard that we were doing bits in the bar like next door. And I was like, yeah, 100%. And they were like, how old are you? And obviously I've just turned 16. So I said I'm 17, nearly 18. Yeah. To try and sound better. But in reality, I just turned 16. So they gave me the job, and then I did every Saturday night there, and it was sick, like best years of my life. And then they found out that I was actually younger, and I lied about my age. And they weren't very happy. But in the end, they kept me on and said, you should have just been honest, and we would have let you work here. But I
don't think they would. I don't think they would have.
I was just 15, just turned 16, so I think they would have just gone, nah. But because they like got to know me and knew that I was a good DJ and got it going, then they were saying, oh, we still would have had you, but no, you wouldn't. So I think if I didn't lie about my age, I probably wouldn't be here now.
Do you think age is a big thing in this industry?
Not anymore. Like them times, there was no SoundCloud, like Mixcloud doing anything when I was like 15. It was like I couldn't break through.
Yeah.
Like, but now, like kids like 14, 15, 16, they can do anything with social media, innit? Like, so I personally think it's a lot easier.
But with kind of like the restrictions on clubs, so how I started, I was doing, when I was 15, but I could only do the 10 to 11 slot or 10, like
right,
9
you had to get out.
Yeah, I couldn't stay in the club after 12.
Right. I don't know what the rules are. I used to think if you didn't go behind the bar, you were allowed to work, because obviously you can have glass collectors working at like 16, 17. So I'm not sure what the rules are now, but I remember back in the day, like it was just pretty much anything goes. But I thought if I lie about my age, I've got more chance of getting the gig.
So going from those gigs, how have you become to like Nathan Dawe? Like how's it all come about for you?
I mean, obviously it's going to be SoundCloud. Like I put so much effort into doing mixes, and I found my USP, which was like doing multi-genre mixes rather than just specific genre.
Yeah.
And one of my mixes, Gold Edition 1, just like took off, and it just like propelled it to a next level. And then we were getting booked like left, right, and centre all over the country, and then all over like Europe and that. So it was obviously like SoundCloud was the main reason for why I'm here. But I think obviously when I started making a name for myself, it could have gone two ways. You could have either had like a year, like a flash in the pan, and then be forgotten about, or you could make like a long career out of it. And I think I've done that. So a lot of hard work as well.
Definitely. So looking at your DJ sets, like I know, but a lot of people might not know what makes your set unique.
I think anyone that's been to a set can agree with saying you don't know what to expect, what's to come next. So I think because I go through so many different genres, and I can go from a Drake tune to a drum and bass tune to another slow jams tuning to a hip hop house, whatever. I can just mash it up in quite a good way. I think it's quite exciting for the fan or the consumer in the crowd, because you're thinking, I don't know what he's going to come with next. I don't know what, my aim's always been, don't give people a chance to go to the toilet for a piss. Like, keep them wanting to just stand on the dance floor and go, no, I'm not going yet. Next one. And that's kind of work for me. Yeah. So just high energy, non-stop, like banger, 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 different genres.
So you're sweating?
Yeah, literally, like all over the shop.
So what was your kind of first like overseas booking? Was it Zante, or did you kind of go over there for a season yourself, or?
Yeah, I went over for the season. So obviously that's my first, technically my first one away. But obviously I took myself there. But my first actual booking, I think it'll probably be Malia. Like Malia was my first one there. They booked me just for me. But But yeah, no, obviously we do them all now, and it's sick. But it's just a shame this year we can't go and do it again. It's just
definitely.
Shit.
Is there anything you'd like kind of look back on and you would do better or change, or do you think it's all gone the right way for you?
I think it's all gone the right way. I would probably have brought music out a bit sooner in my career, but obviously it's going really well right now. So I shouldn't look back and regret anything. But it would have been nice to have been 5 or 6 or 7 singles deep rather than just 3.
Yeah.
But that's probably my only slight regret. I should have just brought out music a bit sooner.
So what kind of, are you more just sticking to like the house kind of music producing, or do you want to go into hip hop, R&B as well, or other?
Well, we've got quite a big up stylist locked in as well. We've got quite a few, like we've got a really good R&B tune, which is a bit like Rams Barking, which like I love that. But it's trying to find the right time to bring something out. That's different to what we're known for right now, because in the commercial market and at Spotify and radio, they know Nathan Dawe as like the commercial house pop guy.
Yeah.
So to transition, it's not as easy as just giving them a new tune, because they won't know what to do with it, because they're trying to build my name in like the houseier side of the platform. So being multi-genre, that's why I tried to get a rapper on Flowers, and we got Jay, and that's how I'm trying to kind of infuse all my multi-genre-ness into my records. But I'm hoping in a few singles time, I'll have more like power as such at these labels to say, look, I'm putting out this, if you like it or not.
Yeah.
So that's the game.
So what kind of career do you prefer, DJ or kind of producing?
There's nothing better than being in a studio, working with like some sick engineers, sick vocalists, working non-stop on a tune and then playing it out and hearing people sing it back to you. Like, I didn't realise how good that would feel until it happened. And not so much like with Flowers, when people are singing like the chorus, it's not as fulfilling because obviously it's a sample. People already know the tune. But when they're singing like the original post-chorus, like they're never gonna leave you bit, and when they're singing JK's verse word for word, you're thinking like, this is mad. Like, no one knew these words and now they're singing it word for word, like screaming it back at you. That feels good. But nothing beats like the excitement of about to walk on stage in front of like 3,000-4,000 people. And then thinking you've got this crowd like in the palm of your hand for the next hour. And I don't know, man, they're on par. I think they're on par. It's just a great job and the high energy, and it just gives you a big thrill. And I couldn't really probably choose one, man. They're both the same.
So I'm gonna give you this question: which country, like, do you prefer to DJ in? Like, you done seasons in Napa, you done Marbella, you done Ibiza, Malia. So like, which one's for you?
Ibiza's sick because it's just Ibiza. No one beats Ibiza. So when we did like Ushuaia, like for Charlesy and Tiny, like that was unreal. It's like a bucket list. But Zante's like my second home. So the nightclub we use in Zante, I don't know if anyone's been there, but like Plus Club, the way it's laid out, like the atmosphere is just mad. And like, that's probably my favourite, to be honest, just because we've got it on lock. We've done it for like 7 years now, and we just know what we're doing, how to get the vibe going, and the atmosphere in there is insane.
You must feel so like happy and like just like, wow, like every year coming back, everyone's just coming to see you now. It wasn't just you trying to find the gigs.
Yeah, like that's I think every DJ's dream, like to go from not having to find work to work coming to you. I know for me, like my only dream was I want to be able to make a full-time job out of DJing. I just wanted to be a resident DJ and earn £500 a week and, you know, be comfy. And then obviously when it took off, you have to keep taking more and more steps and create more dreams for yourself to keep moving. Otherwise you stand still and like act stale, innit? So it's definitely a good idea to like set out goals to achieve as and when you like succeed and pass.
So someone go, when's the single that you previewed on New Year's Eve being released?
So I don't know, we had a single done and ready to go. We've actually shot the music video as well. And I paid for that all myself. And I like that tune. It is a really good tune, and I played it at my O2 show as well. But I think we've got a better one now. So
you're keeping it under wraps?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, that tune was ready to go, and it still is there, ready to go. But I've got a gut feeling about my second option, which has only really came to light in the last 6-7 weeks, and it's a banger. So I want to make sure I go with what I feel is best. And at the minute, it's not Feels Like Love, which is the tune that Ben's on about. It might come out one day, or maybe I can give it to someone else to bring out and I can be credited as like a songwriter on it. But like, it's a good tune, but in my eyes, we've got better right now.
DJ at Oxford when all this is over.
Yeah, man, I think we do. Attic Oxford, I've done a couple of times, which has always been pretty crazy. They know that urban really good as well. Like every time I'm playing urban in that place, it goes off. So I do love doing Oxford. So I'll definitely be back when we get booked after this madness.
So I heard that on your contract basically is like the DJ playing before you cannot play anything. Is it up to 2015 or 14 or something like that?
Yeah. So on like our contract rider type thing, at the beginning when I first started getting gigs, it was just like a normal, like there was nothing on it. And I was getting to shows, and obviously these times I've not got any of my own productions. I'm just playing other people's music. So I'm turning up to the rave about to go on, and the DJ is playing Pow, Next Hype, like every big tune out at the time, like Drake, like every big hitter, they're trying to play before me. And I'm thinking, I'm about to go on stage now and play them exact same tunes. Yeah, we can mash them up different and you can deliver them different and whatever. But it got to the point where it's like a competition. Like, I think resident DJs were thinking, oh, Nathan Dawe's coming, I need to show him what I've got, or I need to prove to the crowd. Well, yeah, but I'm thinking, from a business point of view, when you're running a club and you're a manager and you've got a resident DJ, you should expect that DJ to do the job for that night. And I mean, you can talk about how the warm-up DJ should act for hours, but in my opinion, it should be what it says. It's a warm-up. It's getting the vibes set right for your headline DJ to come in. And yeah, you're going to take the limelight, but that's all part and parcel of it. Like, people have come to see that person, and you're taking energy away from that set. So you're lessening people's experience for when the headline act comes on. So it basically got to a point where we wouldn't have anything on the contract, and it would keep not ruining the set, because we still did bits, but it just would have been so much better if it was like capped. So we then kept saying, we then changed the contract a little bit to like ask them politely, and it worked in some clubs, but then still most clubs would go and they wouldn't respect it. So in the end, we just had to change it to contractual and say the DJ must play this, and if he doesn't play this or she doesn't play this, then Nathan won't perform. And
so
it's
how many gigs have you kind of walked away from?
Not one.
Because
since that went in, no one does it.
Yeah.
So there's still been a couple of times where I've turned up to a club and the DJ's playing Ladbroke Grove, or he's playing Drake God's Plan, like when these were big hits.
Yeah.
And obviously my tour manager just spoke to the manager and just said, look, can you please, respect the rules of the rider? We're going on in half an hour. Can we just chill it out a little bit and get the club ready for Nath? And every time they're all right with that. But until we put that in a contract, it was relentless. It was like it was every showman.
What's on your rider for drinks? Are you fussy with that, or?
I'm not a massive drinker. It's like, it used to be Hypnotic and a couple of bottles of Ciroc. I then took Hypnotic off and replaced it with a brandy, because like my MC likes brandy. Big up Missing Link. But yeah, just Ciroc and then brandy, and then now and again like a champagne or whatever. But it's not a biggie. Like a lot of times the rider's not right, and I just get on with it.
Biggest fan you've got? Napa poster ring? Any bells?
I think this might be the guy that nicked a massive poster of me from Napa. It wasn't a poster; it was a banner. It was like
the banner that hangs up.
Yeah, it's like a 6-foot banner, and he took it home with him and then brought it to a gig. I think I might be right. New Year's Eve or something. He brought it to the gig and was holding it in the crowd. It was pretty fucking mad, to be honest. But if that is you, big up.
Let's see this. If anyone else wants to answer any questions, like put it in the questions box as well, so we don't have to scroll up. Will we be getting How You Mean 2020 summer mix?
Well, the answer is yeah, but we're trying to I want to try and make it a bit special, make it different, because I'm bored in isolation and everyone else is, and obviously I'm quite known for my summer mixes, and I'm trying to think of doing something a bit cooler than just putting out a normal summer 2020 mix. I'm racking my brains. I'm not coming up with anything just yet, but definitely going to come out, and I'm going to try and get it out as soon as possible as well, because last year I was quite late because I was touring so much. I didn't even bring out my summer mix till like August, which was awful from me. So
it's the end of summer.
So I'm hoping like the next couple of weeks we can get it out. And I was thinking, rather than Nathan Dawe Summer 20, how you mean, we can do Summer Quarantine, how you mean. That's probably the next one.
So there's a lot to you still. So you've done so many festivals. What's kind of been the highlight for you in your career so far? I'll give you
my
two,
highlight.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, there's two. I've obviously already mentioned about doing Ushuaia in Ibiza. Yeah. Obviously, people that don't know, it's like been voted the best club in the world for years. So as a DJ to like play there is insane, and the hospitality and the way they look after you is just different level. So that was definitely like a highlight. But my biggest highlight by far would be when I did my first O2 show at the O2 Institute in Birmingham. Yeah. And I just knew no one believed that we could sell it. Like, I was hearing through like other people that they've heard certain DJs or certain people in the industry say like, who's he think he is? He's never going to sell an O2 out. He's just a DJ. Like, at the time we did it, it was only like rappers or massive producers that were doing O2 shows, or like comedians and stuff. So it was unheard of for like just a DJ that plays other people's music to do a headline show. So I knew not a lot of people believed the vision, but I always did, and I always knew it was going to sell. And then when I got the email from the O2 saying like it's sold out, that was a mad feeling. But the feeling I got when I walked on stage and like everyone was chanting your name, I was just like, it was just unbelievable to think, to go from like an idea in your bedroom to walking out
seeing
like 1,500 people and being like, they're all here literally just to see me play music. It was crazy. So that's definitely the fix.
Are we seeing a Nathan Dawe tour after quarantine, like UK, Europe?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously we had big plans to do a show this year in Birmingham, like big plans, and something for the summer as well, which was going to be crazy, which didn't obviously pull off. So I'm hoping by some miracle I can still do the end of year show, but it's not looking good. But whenever we do get back to normality, I want to tour. I want to get back on it. Like, I've not even had a chance to like celebrate my success of Flowers with the fans that made it how big it is. Like, all these people that are sending me videos every day of like singing and dancing along to Flowers, I want to be able to share that with them in the club, and we can't. So I'm hoping we get back and, you know, we can do that.
Well, hopefully it's before the end of this year. that's what hopefully, but no one knows, to be honest. If you could start DJing all over again, what would you do differently? I think I kind of asked this, but
yeah, I think like I don't think I'll change anything DJing wise. Obviously there's a few things like now and again when maybe I've put a specific video out of me DJing and I could have maybe got a better clip, and because of that people have jumped onto it and said like nasty things or tried to spread hate. But that's all like the learning curve that like got me to where I am today, because I had no one to really look at and follow, so I was just trying to do my own thing. So I learned a lot. So I haven't really got any regrets. So I wouldn't do anything different. It would just be bringing out the music a lot sooner. But other than that, DJ wise, I'm pretty happy.
Who do you kind of look up to in the DJ industry and production, like music industry as well?
I think like Kelvin Harris, I'd say production wise, that's like the ultimate dream. I look up to EZ for like his technical ability, because obviously he's unreal. Yeah. And I would say Westwood for his like longevity, because he's still doing it. God knows.
He's just like, he's the godfather basically.
Yeah, I mean he's just been doing it for so long, and
what's he, 60
like
definitely.
I think he's over 60. So if I could be doing it that long, I'd be happy. So I'd say them two. Yeah.
Has like radio ever been like a thing for you going down that path, or you kind of been more festival club type?
I've always been festival and club DJ. I want to do something on radio, like whether that's One Extra or Capital or whatever, but it's hard because obviously you're trying to juggle so many different things. You DJ in like your live stuff, your mixes, your streams, and it's hard to juggle it all. But I think one day it'd be nice to do like a one-off DJ kind of mix on air, but like not just a mix, like more of a show, like request show. That'd be pretty cool. So
how did you learn how to produce, and what advice would you give to up and coming DJs? Sorry.
So obviously I was surrounding myself with some amazing like engineers and producers like that really helped me at the time that we were creating Cheating. So I think it's important you've got to do a lot of research yourselves and like endless YouTube tutorials. I flew out to LA about 4.5 years ago to do like an intense course on Logic, which is a program, if people don't know, that you like produce music on, and picked up a lot of information there that's definitely helped. And we have a lot of like engineers and additional producers that come in on the sessions now and help us get the tunes to my vision, and amazing vocalists that come and just add the final bit of spice into it to make it a banger. So I think the advice is you have to just set a lot of time towards it, and DJing you have to just set goals, but you can't expect it to come quick and overnight. Like, it took me 10 years to get anywhere. So you have to be prepared to put a lot of hard work in, and just non-stop belief in yourself.
What advice would you give to up-and-coming DJs, like, to keep in the industry and to keep themselves active?
What, right now?
No, just in general, just to keep themselves in the game and keep themselves known.
Yeah, it's hard because obviously back in the day you'd say it was SoundCloud and then Mixcloud, but for me they're not really breaking DJs no more. So I say you've got to try and find your unique selling point. My unique selling point is obviously multi-genre and now my singles, but I'm seeing a lot of DJs copy other DJs, as in specific mixes, or like someone will do a video, like a video mix, and someone else will do one that's pretty similar. And it's hard because it's such a saturated market. But
definitely,
I feel like for DJs to break through now, it's going to be one of two things: originality and something like quite cool that social media pick up on and like get behind and rep, or production and bringing out a song that connects with the consumer and takes you to a next level. Because all it takes, like, look at Simba with that Rover record.
Yeah.
Like, you go on that guy's Spotify, I don't think he's even got anything over 100,000 on any other record, and this new one's just touched 20 million, and that's off the power of like TikTok.
And then Zai's done a remix on it as well, like, so everyone's like, getting onto it.
I think it's definitely, if people have an interest in production, the earlier you get into it, the better. And you know, bring out tunes and just try and create your own fan base by vibing online and doing something that's different to others and trying to create your own brand and like identity, rather than just doing, you know, mixes and stuff that you can see every other DJ doing. Like, there's too much of it, in my opinion.
So a lot of DJs have been saying that if they look to other DJs or producers, your branding has to be on point. So do you kind of look at that as a main thing as well?
Yeah, I'm a brand freak, really. I'm not as much. I'm still obviously very, very all over it. But in my first few years, because I knew how important it was to like make an impression on the public and make sure whenever you searched me, it was all neat and it looked official. I was on it non-stop, like literally 24/7, branding, artwork, videos. Nothing would go out until it was perfect. I would do mixes 6, 7, 8 times because I wanted to make sure it was great. And I think that's just it. It's kind of a gift that I've had a long time, where I'm just very, very cautious and protective over my brand image. And that goes with like choosing the right gigs to do and the right remixes to do, and it all rolls into one. But I think branding and stuff is obviously so important.
Definitely. What software and decks do you use?
I use Serato, and I use just like the standard Pioneer CDJs and the mixer. Like,
what's on your technical rider?
A 2 DJM 900 Nexus. A 900 mixer Nexus, and a laptop stand, I think, and obviously like microphones and that.
Yeah. Are you fussed about booth monitor, or are you not? Are you not fussed about that?
Pretty standard that they have them, so it's on the rider, but there's usually already one there. But if there isn't, they'll bring one in. But it is good to have a booth monitor. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Are you the type to have it quite loud? Because I've said loads of DJs don't like it loud, or some DJs like it loud. I personally like it like really loud. But
yeah, it's quite loud, man. Like, I like to get into it. And I think the louder it is, the more and more you catch a vibe. But because I'm obviously working with a host at all my sets, I need to be able to like communicate with him as well. So it's not always really loud.
Yeah. How was it to DJ before the Aston Villa Cup final in London?
That was another dream come true. Like, obviously, I'm a massive Villa fan. The only things I do in life is just music and football, and like they're my two main go-tos. So to be able to do them both and like play in front of thousands of Villa fans, and they're all singing flowers back to you word for word, and you're walking on stage and everyone's cheering before you've even started, and then you're starting Villa songs off and everyone's like chanting it back to you. It was just the best feeling in the world. And I think it was quite funny because when we did it at Box Park, like, I don't get the vibe that Box Park kind of expected, like knew to expect what happened. They were just like, let's get this DJ down, he's known by Villa fans, but I didn't think they knew like the levels it was at. So they walked us in, and obviously everyone was coming over and saying hello and asking for pictures, and they were just kind of thinking, who is this guy? And then but when we went on, it just turned into like a concert. They had to, about 5 minutes in, we had to stop the music so they could switch over to the bigger amps because it was that loud. And it was just like, yeah, it was a proper concert. Everyone came to the front, and it was just
so you basically shut down the thing. You just
yeah, it was mad. It's just a shame about the result in the end, but it was a crazy day, man, and like something that I've always dreamt of doing. So to be able to do that in front of all the Villa fans was crazy.
Yeah.
Big up Day as well, my G.
Yeah, big up Day in the building. What's been the best gig set you've done since you started DJing?
I personally think my set at my second O2 show, which when we upgraded to the O2 Academy, yeah, which is 3,000 people, I just remember coming off that stage and feeling like bare fulfilled and thinking, oh, I could not have done any more. Like, I just thought I smashed it. And I don't get that. Like, a lot of times, I'm sure other DJs will agree, you'll come off set and you'll think, oh, I should have played that, or I should have played that after that tune, not before, or little things like that, or even like little technical things you've done where you've not mixed it perfect or whatever, and you think, oh, that could have been better. And I get that a lot, but like, I just remember walking off stage at the O2 and just thinking, fucking smash that. Like, yeah. So that's probably my best set ever, really.
Would you have rather gone to production first than DJing, or DJing in production?
Nah, DJing every time. Like, I think that's a problem with some producers. Some producers are really successful, yeah, and then it comes to DJing, and they haven't had the experience of playing to a crowd and losing part of the dance floor and thinking, right, I know what to do to get them back. And that's obviously because they've been used to being in a studio, whereas I've been used to being in nightclubs every week for like since I was 15. So I think the experience that I've gained through being a resident DJ for like nearly 10 years is like massively got me to where I am today.
Are you going to do any sets in Devon sometime in the future?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know where, like, obviously I know where Devon is, but I've never...
Are you going to say I don't know where Devon is for a second?
No, I know where Devon is. Yes, DMO. I know where Devon is, but I don't know any clubs in that in Devon. I don't think I've ever played in Devon. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. Fuck it. I'll come down and play in Devon.
What kind of cities do you think are popping right now? Well, before quarantine.
Well, I've got obviously Birmingham, I'm going to say. I like Essex. Essex goes off. Like, when I played at Citizen Bar and Faces, they've gone off. And, like, that's a lot. I find it a lot more urban in Essex. And that's, like, my go-to genre. So I love playing in Essex. Then you've got Sheffield, where I'm probably more known for my bassline stuff. So when I'm playing in like, Sheffield, I can get really, like, dirty with all the bassline sounds and house and stuff. And it's like a sweatbox everywhere you go. So I like that. Birmingham's a little bit of everything, so I can kind of do my perfect multi-genre set. I love places like this guy, like Paul said, like Cardiff, always a vibe, always rammed. Everyone's always pissed out their head. Like, so I think, yeah, Essex, Sheffield, Birmingham and Cardiff are my answers to that. There's quite a few. They're all like evenly spread out as well.
Did you kind of grow up in like in a bassline genre, or did you grow up in an urban genre? Or
no, I was urban. So like my sets I used to play when I was a resident DJ were just like dancehall, reggae, R&B, hip hop. Yeah. And I remember, I don't know if Day still on, but when I was playing at 101, was it 101? 101 Birmingham.
Yeah, 101.
After my O2 show once, I did like an after party, and I jumped on and was just coming with every dancehall and reggae hit, like, and was just pulling out some absolute bangers like Christopher Martin, all these mad tunes. And I remember like Bear Brum DJs kind of messaging me the day after, or like coming up to me on the night and saying like, bro, like, I didn't know you had that in you. And even my host, Missing Link, was going like, bro, I didn't know you knew them tunes. And I was like, I was banging these tunes out like 3-4 times a week when I was 15, 16, 17. But obviously the way my career's gone, I've had to move away from that to become more commercially known. But I remember as well when I played an after party at Ushuaia in like the artist room. Me and Link went on. I was playing it all again, like the Movado and all just like unreal hits.
Yeah.
And Big Nasty was there, and he came over. He was like smoking a joint. Sorry, he came over and just like kind of gave me a safe to say like, well, how is this tall, lanky white boy dropping these hits? Like, he was going like, yes.
But that's why I rate Westwood, because like there's not many DJs that I like that have come up like that. You know, like he was shot when he was young, like when he was coming up. So like, you know, there's so many like people didn't rate him because he was playing black music, but that's why I rate him.
No, I know he's just kind of took it to a next level, which is
Definitely
unusual, really, but he's smashed it.
So there's a lot of questions here. Right. Have you ever promoted your own events? I'm 17 and got my name known by local clubs, but by promoting my own under 18 events.
Yeah, yeah, I have. So like when I come from Burton, which is obviously a really small town, and I couldn't break out. I couldn't get into Birmingham. Every promoter I was messaging was just airing me. I couldn't get into Tamworth. Couldn't get into Lichfield. No one wanted me. Like, as in, I could send as many emails, as many mix CDs, and just never get a reply. So I thought I've got to start putting my own events on to try and build my name more in my hometown, so that maybe I'll get poached. So I started doing, like, at the time I was 17, 18, so I was doing like under 18 raves in my hometown, putting up posters all over the town, and then built my name up from that, because obviously I put my own events on, booked myself, and then kind of cashed in that way. I say cash in, the most I ever made was probably like 60 quid. Yeah. But it was good because I got my name to a point then where I like had more of an online presence, and like I built my following up and my branding up a little bit more. So when I was messaging these clubs, they were taking it a bit more serious. Still never got a good reply from them until like they wanted me, because of obviously the success of SoundCloud. But it definitely helped me, because anyone in my hometown then, if they wanted the DJ, whether it was like a wedding or a birthday or a nightclub event, they would say, well, you've got to book Nathan Dawe, because everywhere you go, his poster or his face is around the town. So definitely a big fan of like telling people to do their own events. Especially from a city as well. Sorry, from a city as well. Like my little town, you've got 60,000 people, and obviously when you think of the percentage that are probably 16 to 21, it's nothing. So DJs that are in cities and larger towns, like the possibility is there if you get the branding right and like the right idea. It's big possibilities, man. Yeah,
like London especially is so hard. Like over here, it's just, you know, like everywhere you go, you got a DJ. You got a DJ Top Shop, like all over Oxford Street. You know, you got everywhere. So right now the game is oversaturated, and a lot of DJs can say like agree with me on that one. And I don't know if you can, but I feel it's oversaturated, like, but it's good in a way that we've got so many DJs, like it's a nice community kind of thing. Like I don't know if you've got like a DJ group as well, but we've got DJ groups over here, so trying to connect.
Yeah, no, I've not really got like a sort of DJ group. Obviously I chat to bare DJs all the time, like show bare love, and I've got a good relationship with a lot of DJs in the country. But I feel like it is definitely a saturated market, hence the reason I said you've got to be unique and do things that are different. And like until people find their USP, it's hard to like try and tell them, because I didn't know my one. I just did trial and error, and then everyone kept telling me you cannot do a multi-genre mix. It has to either be hip hop or bassline. You can't mix the two. So for a long time I was just listening to that. Then I thought, well, when I'm going to my gigs, I'm dropping everything and it's going off. So I'm just going to do a mix, dropping everything. And if people laugh at it and say it's embarrassing, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. Then so be it. I've got to try it. So I released Gold Edition 1. I did a mashup of every genre. I remember listening to it back and thinking, that ain't amazing. Like some of the mixing ain't great. Like maybe it was a bit abrupt changing between genres. But I thought, do you know what? Fuck it. Put it out. See what happens. And I remember putting it out. I was in my villa in Zante at the time. But them times you didn't have 4G and that, so you had to be on Wi-Fi when you're abroad. So I remember uploading the mix whilst I was in my had my Wi-Fi, and then as soon as it uploaded, I left my villa. We went to go and get some food. Took about half an hour to get there. When we got there, I got on the Wi-Fi at the restaurant, and when my phone connected, it was just going like ping, 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 ping. I was thinking, yo, like usually when I put a mix out, I'll get 3 tweets like saying I'm liking your new mix. I had like 60 tweets in half an hour, and I was just going like, the people I was with, obviously, I was just going like, you don't understand what's going on. Like, I've got 60 people message me about a mix. It's only been out half an hour. I don't ever get that in a day. Like, I don't get that in a month. Never mind a day. And it just snowballed from there. Like, people just loved the fact that there was finally a mix that had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that mix literally propelled me into like a crazy level. So
do you think that's where DJs should be going towards now? Like more versatile instead of
not so much, because like I mean, a lot of DJs that I see now like will proudly say I'm multi-genre, but when I was coming through, I was like looked at a little bit, why are you being multi-genre? Like, choose your lane and stick to it.
Choose your lane, yeah.
But I was like, no, my lane's multi-genre. Like, if you don't like it, I ain't bothered. Like, I'm a multi-genre DJ. I enjoy playing different types of music. And a lot of people probably looked at me and just thought, nah, like, that's not for me. But then I think now people seeing the success and the levels you can reach. I mean, a lot of DJs are doing it now, and that's so sick to see that I potentially had a hand in that and like got it going. So it's one of them. Also, big up Ian Dimmock, who's locked in.
Are you going live on Facebook on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I took this weekend off to have some time with my family, and the plan is to do it again this week. But it's my birthday at the end of May, like on the bank holiday.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about having a couple of weekends off and then coming with like a big thing on my birthday, trying to make it a bit more exclusive. It's crazy because we're hitting mad numbers like every week, and it's great, and people are massively enjoying it, and the reaction's been sick, and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But it is quite tiring to like plan it all week, get it out there, do it, like not have a Saturday night at home with my family and stuff. And it's like, it does take a lot to keep doing it, but I know everyone wants it, so I'm definitely going to try and do it as much as possible. But I'm quite busy now getting stuff ready for this next single.
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm probably going to do like a big one on my birthday at the end of the month.
Has these lives kind of helped you kind of connect with your fans more as well?
I mean, I don't know, man, because I think everyone knows that I'm so like in touch with like the fan base, and I'm constantly, I spend hours replying to messages, and I'm always in touch. So I wouldn't say it's made me connect more, but I just think they probably appreciate me more for like taking the time out to still give them their like Nathan Dawe fix, whilst, you know, they can't get it. So I think it's just been a nice thing to be able to connect over a live stream, and I've never done one before, so it's all new for me.
Is it your first interview on Instagram Live?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
First one, man. That's it. First one.
That's good. I'll take that.
Yeah, man.
I've got to set the bar. Now I've got to set the bar.
That's it.
So I was gonna ask this, but what are your goals for the next 5 years?
It would be to kind of branch out DJing wise, and, you know, become more regularly booked in places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, even places like France and Germany and stuff, and not just your holiday resorts like Mali, Azanti and that. They're sick, but I think to get to the next level of my career, I need to branch out to more of Europe and the rest of the world, and that's most likely going to come with the success of like the records that I bring out. So I want to just keep bringing out records. I've obviously got a massive job on my hands now to try and top Flowers, so I'm feeling the pressure a bit, but I want to just keep bringing big hit out, big hit, and become more of a household name.
Which single do you prefer, Cheating or Flowers?
Ooh. I mean, Cheating is like my little baby. Like, I worked on that so hard. It was like a 14-month period.
Yeah.
And if I go on my laptop, I've probably got, no joke, 40 different versions of but I don't know if you're still there.
Sorry, bro, you there?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, like obviously we had so many different options to go with on cheating, and when we finally got it to where it needs to be, that felt good. But
yeah,
obviously at the minute, Flowers has been a massive success, so I'm leaning towards that. But cheating will always be like my baby.
So that's your preferred single.
It means more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say preferred. It means more to me. Like, but Flowers at the minute's my favourite one.
What's been the hardest moment or biggest struggle you've had with DJing?
I don't know, man. That's a hard one. Like, I wouldn't say it was a hard. Well, actually, the hardest moment would have been when I did my 0121 Fest.
Yeah.
And it meant to be outdoors, and we got fucked over massively by the venue. And you get told with like a week to go, you can't host your festival here anymore. And I lost like 40 grand, and it was just awful. Like, I never felt so low. But
yeah.
I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to let them win. I'm going to do everything I can to flip this on its head, make a positive out of it, and still put a show on. And that's why we moved it to the indoor arena and still did it. And it was a great night. I lost more money by putting it on rather than just cancelling it. But yeah. I thought, I promised people a night out. I'm just doing it. Just to prove to myself that these guys aren't going to try and be sneaky and fuck me over, because I'm relentless. I'll just keep going and going. So
would you ever go back to that venue?
No, fuck them.
Never.
Digbeth Arena, never. Bunch of idiots.
Nah, I mean, that's out of order a week to go as well. When you've got all those artists, DJs, and crowd coming in a week to go, ain't the best of things to do.
Yeah, they obviously shift the blame, but I know the truth, and they know the truth, and that's it. But they tried to fuck us over, and in the end, we had a great night. So jokes on them.
Who do you kind of look up to, artist-wise?
Like Calvin Harris.
Are there any artists like popping in the charts right now that you're kind of looking to as well?
Obviously, like your big ones, like obviously AJ Tracy, Stormzy, and that. But I tell you, someone that I'm actually like really repping right now is KSI, because obviously I understand like people might have a bit of a stigma because of the background he's come from.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with numbers, and he's bringing out records and going top 10 first week. And his latest tune, that Houdini with Swarms and Tion, that's a banger, bro. And no one can tell me different. That's a good song. And like, if anyone else brings that out, it's a certified hit in that grime, hip hop, Afro swing scene. So and the features is getting him mad. And I think it's only a matter of time till he has to be taken very, very seriously in this music business, because he's doing things that people are doing, that people have tried to do for years and never could. So KSI keeps popping up, and that's quite a surprise. So I'm into KSI right now. I would love to do a track with Becky Hill. I tweeted about it the other day, trying to plant the seed, but I got nothing back.
Yeah, but so, I mean, your tweets kind of end you up somewhere. Like, you tweeted you want to do the V Festival.
Yeah.
Like,
so I thought I'll put it out there to the universe, and hopefully one day me and Becky can connect and like create a hit. But I'd say Becky Hill, one of the big, massive like grime stars, and yeah, the dream's probably Calvin Harris, man. Or KSI, let's work with KSI, why not?
I think the thing is, because obviously he's mainly from YouTube, right? People can't really take it seriously right now, but that hit has probably made people think, you know what, as you said, like, you got to start taking this guy seriously now.
If you look at the features on his next album that's coming out at the end of May, you can't not take him serious, bro. Simple as that. Like, he's doing bits, especially for the UK scene. So hats off to him, man.
Definitely. The co-op tweet was brilliant.
yeah, that was pretty funny, man.
How did you feel when they replied about it?
I don't know. It was pretty funny because obviously they replied, we'll see what we can do to get locked into the sounds of Nathan Dawe.
Yeah.
I was thinking, sick. Like, the person that works at co-op knows who I am. So that was pretty funny. I've not heard it in co-op yet. Like, I'm having a lot of people sending me videos and sending me messages saying, just been in Co-op and heard your tune. But I'm not going out, like, at the minute. So I'm not going to the shop to hear it as much as I used to do before. So hopefully when I do get back to go shopping, I'll hear it. Big up Jeremiah as well.
How did it feel to have your song chart for the first time?
Crazy. Like, that's another tweet that I tweeted. I think last year I tweeted I want a top 40 by the end of the year, and we didn't get one because it was the end of 2019 and we got it at the start of 2020. So it was a little bit late, but I am like really thankful that obviously it's got to the top 40. And when you actually get that like clarification, I just remember ringing JK and just going like, bro, we've done it. And he was just like gassed, and I was gassed, and it was just like, we were just saying like,
pop a bottle.
Well, virtually, we said like, we can't, you know, Jay was like, this is just shit. We can't even get together and celebrate. And, you know, it's top 20 at the minute, like in the midweeks, it's 17, like there's still growth left in the record. And we had a top 20 and I can't even go and have a pint with Jay. Like it's, and things like that are a bit upsetting, but the feeling when you get it confirmed to say you've had a top 40, because when you're a kid, like for me, I was thinking anyone in the top 40 is just like a global superstar in my head when I was a kid. So my dream was like, imagine getting a top 40 hit, but then you never think it's going to happen to you, especially not being from a small town where like nothing goes on. So when that happened, it was quite an emotional day.
What's your take on reality TV stars going into DJing and kind of using it just for something unique about their brand and unique about their, you know, like their following and stuff?
Yeah, I suppose it's hard because I've just said KSI, for example, I'm repping what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I can't then say reality stars shouldn't be using their platform to succeed in music. But I'm repping KSI because his tunes are hard.
Yeah.
If you've been on Geordie Shore or whatever, like not Geordie Shore, like I'm trying to
Love
think
Island.
Love Island. Well, yeah, like Towie, plenty of others that I've seen like just say, "Oh, I'm a DJ now," and then play the set. If that set is good, fair play. Like use your platform, use your brand, push yourself. Like go and make money. Like you only live once, innit? Just go and do what you got to do. Don't try and get validation from anyone. And someone's just said Joel Corey. That's nothing to do with Joel Corey. Joel Corey's my fucking brother, and Joel has been a sick DJ since day one. So that's nothing to do with Joel. But the point I'm making is, if what you're putting out is sick, I've got no problem with that. But if I've seen like, I can't remember her name, but I don't even want to say it anyway, but a female DJ that said DJ set, but was like from town or whatever. And I remember I was a resident DJ. She came and said, you're going to need to DJ for me and I'll just talk on the mic. And I was thinking, you're probably getting 3-4 grand to be here.
PA session.
Yeah. And they're saying that they're a DJ. So I don't agree with that side of it. But if you go on one of them TV shows and you're a sick selector or a sick producer, then yeah, use your platform. But don't just put something next to your name and like come and try and take all guys limelight. No, it weren't even Lauren, man. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And like I say, I probably sound like, I don't want to sound like I'm chucking anyone under a bus at all. But the point I'm making is, if you are, you know, decent at it or have a genuine passion and believe that like what you're doing is for the right reasons, then yeah, go and do it. Use your platform. But if you're literally thinking, right, what can I do to cash in here? Or I'll just put DJ and try and play some tunes and get more money, then I don't agree with that.
Would you come Moo again and have a feature artist?
What do you reckon it means by that?
Like someone come down on your set as well.
Oh yeah, so like Moo-Moo's, I did Moo-Moo's Derby start of the year. That was sick. And Jay was meant to come down to that actually, but in the end he just got stoned and didn't come. But I want to just get on a stage and perform alongside JK and do flowers, just because it would just be such a nice feeling to think two Midlands lads have gone and got a top 20 and we haven't even had a chance to perform it. And I just want to spray the crowd with champagne and just vibe enjoy the night. But
sorry, battery.
That's all good. I want to just enjoy the night with with the fans and that. So I'm hoping we can get to that soon.
Let's see what other questions. So yeah, with JK, what other artists would you want to invite down onto your set?
Depends. Like obviously, by the time we're back on and like we're performing, I might have another tune out there with a couple of other features. So maybe then. But I think it obviously makes sense to like tour and perform with someone that you're actually working with. But if you could choose anyone, I don't know, Stormzy, someone crazy, bro, Ed Sheeran, whatever. Fuck it.
Are you and your team accepting bookings for next year?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll take any booking we can get right
take
now.
Any bookings?
Yeah, I'll take anything. Weddings, christenings, the lot. But I mean, there's no point, man. Like
no one knows what's happening.
My agency company is like, I think they've furloughed a lot of staff and they're not not at work. So it's going to be a long time, man, until we can actually commit to a booking again.
What's your take on being in an agency and then being independent? Like, do you think? Do you think it just works for different people, or do you think you're better off being an independent or being in an agency?
It's different for everyone, bro. I remember like when I first started getting bookings, like for me, like for Nathan Dawe bookings, it was horrible to have to pay like a percentage away when you're getting the bookings yourself. That's the most like frustrating and annoying thing at the start. But big up JK who's just joined as well.
Yeah, JK just joined.
But like, it's one of them really. Like, if you think you can get the bookings yourself, then what's the point in getting an agent? But you get to a point where you need an agent to get you the things that you can't get. So it's only a matter of time until you have to make that decision. But you gotta make the choice at the right time. Simple as that.
When did you kind of decide you wanted to have a host with you? Is it because you can't get on a mic, or is it because you wanted something different about your set?
I've done the mic like throughout my resident days. Like I've always been quite heavy on the mic, and then I was just at the start. I used to just go out as Nathan Dawe, and that's it. And then when I was playing at a gig, the promoter also booked Link. So then Link was performing and like hosting. Then I jumped on to do my set, and then we just did it. Like he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna host your set. Is that cool?" I was like, "Yeah, go for it." And then I remember being there with like a few of my mates and like Jordan and that. And we just looked at each other as if to say, like, this guy's fucking sick. Like, he was smashing it. So we just connected straight away. Like, I come off that stage and was like, bro, like, we just smashed that. He was like, mate, like, we just proper respected each other. We were like, he was like, you're a sick selector. You're dropping bangers left, right, and centre. I'm like, bro, you spoke at the right times. It was unreal. The energy levels were mad. So we connected. And then I started bringing him to, like, the odd couple of gigs with me. And then I was like, bro, you're on the team. Like, I want you as my full-time MC. So that's how it kind of happened. That's how I didn't really go and recruit one. It just happened naturally.
Did you kind of have problems with him at the start, kind of like messing up with your set, or was he just professional about it?
It wasn't problems. It was just like, it took a lot. It took about eight to 9 months to like fully work each other out.
Yeah.
Work out what was the right time to talk, what was the wrong time to talk. And when we know each other inside out, like we don't even need to look at each other. We know exactly what we're going to do. And yeah, it's like, it's so sick to like have someone that's known you for so long. And he's like a mentor for me as well. Like he's a sick guy.
When are you coming back to Shrewsbury?
Trade and Niche. I was a resident DJ there for a long time. I don't even know if that place is still open, but I'll be back in Shrewsbury when I'm booked. I'm like I say, I'll play anywhere. I don't care. But at the minute, it's just, I can't even think about bookings because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, just no one knows anything what's going to happen right now. What was your take on Boris's speech on Sunday?
It's a nod, bro. Like, I understand. I don't want to get too political here because I could go on for ages. I don't want to do that.
I think we could all go on for ages here.
But I do have a level of respect for Boris. I do.
Yeah.
But I think he acted too late. And I think that's just common knowledge now. He acted too late. And I feel like the mixed messages he was giving, it's just clear as day that they're just trying to save money rather than save lives. And me personally, I will stick to what I want to do. And I want to stay in and protect my family. So, you know, if people want to try and bend the rules and do whatever, then that's on them. But I think we're all our own person, and you just got to do what's right for you. I'm not saying go out and get pissed if that's right for you. I'm saying just because we've been given a bit more leeway now, doesn't mean we all have to go to the park and have a barbecue and get pissed. You know, he's giving you a bit of leeway. Don't abuse it. But I just think, honest,
I don't think he's giving us leeway, because my local park, there was people sunbathing 2 weeks ago. So like,
but I'm saying like he's giving like official leeway now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of his way of saying I'm giving you a little bit back. But I ain't talking about politics, because it's just going to start. But yeah,
it's the argument. Would you ever take a chance and try and make a #1 hit with an unknown artist?
I think that's generally what the plan always is. I think if you make a record and you're not planning to get a #1, then you should stop making the record, because that's just like should always be the end goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've got a tune with Nathan Brooks, who obviously people won't know, but he's like a sick singer-songwriter, sorry, from Tamworth, like sick guy. And one day me and him will make a hit, because he's so talented and I believe in him so much.
Yeah.
And we've already wrote a song together, and it sounds sick. It's completely different to what people would expect from me. It's like a James Arthur style vibe. And one day we'll bring it out, and I hope I can use my platform to help him excel. But yeah, I've got no like problems with doing music with any unknown artist at all.
Okay, so you're throwing an event, 3 DJs on a lineup, 3 artists, anyone, like it could be American, UK, whoever.
Okay, are you paying?
I mean, it doesn't. Okay, let's just say funds is unlimited there.
I would go with, for controversy and ticket sales, 6ix9ine.
Okay, yeah, I mean that will be sold out in 5 seconds.
I would then go for Drake, and I would probably go for, let's just do multi-genre, I'd go for Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of people that I listen to, but I don't listen to 6ix9ine, so that's contradicted that. But yeah, I'll have them 3. And then as for DJs, I would have EZ.
Yeah.
I would have maybe Fisher. I like Fisher. His energy is crazy. And Calvin Harris, man, because I think that's my end. That's my goal. Like to try and be as big as Calvin Harris.
I mean, that's a little festival there.
But
An event.
Literally, it's not. Yeah, them 6 alone, you've sold out.
Them 6 alone, you sold out O2 Arena like 3 times at least. What's your take on 6ix9ine at the moment, though? Like, do you think he's actually a GOAT for New York?
I'll be honest.
Or do you think Pop Smoke was the GOAT for New York, or do you think there's someone else?
At the end of the day, his numbers don't lie. I've always said that, and like the thing, like the numbers he got the other day was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know, it's crazy. But me personally, I don't rate his music. I just don't rate his music, and I know a lot of people that share the same views as me. So to me, he ain't no fucking GOAT. Like, he ain't no GOAT to me. But
yeah.
I find it entertaining and I find it funny, so I'll keep watching it. But yeah, 6ix9ine's a funny character, man.
Favorite upcoming DJs at the moment?
That's a hard one, because
Obviously
there is
myself.
Yeah, no, of course. No, but you're joking. But the thing is, like, there are tons of DJs out there right now, and you know, you've done something different. I know. Forgive me if someone's watching and I'm wrong, but I've not seen any other DJs doing like these interview things. So that's a cool idea. So like, enough respect for that, because that's quite a cool thing to do. I'm seeing tons of DJs doing sick things, live streams. Like you've got like Don Bryan and Day doing like sick live streams that I'm seeing just from my.
Have you seen Silk?
I haven't. I've heard about them on social media.
Yeah, you should tune into his.
Yeah, I've not seen them. Like I keep seeing his name and GTI. I've never met either of them.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing big things said about them, and that's great. But I could be here for ages. Like obviously Elfie Cridland, who won my competition a couple of years ago, he's been doing really well. But I don't like to pick specific DJs because I see like I've got tons. I could be here naming them for ages because I get on and respect them guys so much. Because every time I look at what people are doing, I see myself because I've been in that situation. So I think anyone that's trying to better themselves during this quarantine is my favourite right now.
Literally, like I think I sat here at the start of quarantine. I was like, "There's nothing to do."
Yeah.
You know, I was like, "Well, how am I gonna get through this period?" And yeah, Alfie's in the building as well. So
big up Alfie.
Big up Alfie. I sat here, like I sat in my room. I just was like, "There's nothing to do."
Yeah.
And like 2 weeks went by, and then I was like, I woke up one morning. I was like, you know what? Let's get into this.
Yeah, and it's a good decision to make. I remember the start of quarantine. I thought like, oh, I'm not doing a live stream, man. Everyone's doing live streams. I can't be arsed. And then everyone kept asking me, and I thought I actually miss DJing. So yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Let's do a live stream.
Definitely.
And I enjoyed it.
Best clubs. Okay, I'm gonna expand that. Best club to DJ at, and best club with atmosphere.
In the UK or anywhere?
No, anywhere that you've DJed in.
Yeah, I'm probably repeating myself because best atmosphere, hands down for me, will be Plus Club Zante. That's just standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said earlier, Faces Essex. Like a tune could drop at midnight on the Friday. I'll play there on the Friday and play it, and everyone knows it word for word.
Yeah.
Like that's a sick feeling. Tank Sheffield for like baseline vibes. They're my 3 go-to venues.
Do you think it's easier for baseline DJs to get booked than urban DJs?
I don't know. That's quite a hard question because I've not because I'm multi-genre. I kind of dabble in between all of them. I don't know that the come up of a strictly urban DJ or a strictly baseline DJ. From what I can see, the baseline are more open to giving opportunities to DJs, whereas the urban scene's more of like a who you know type vibe. That's just what I see. I may be wrong, but that's my opinion.
What would you have done if you wasn't a DJ?
I used to work at Primark, but I would hope I would not be working at Primark for the rest of my life.
CEO of Primark.
Boring. Oh my God, it was the most boring job ever. But I would probably definitely be working in nightlife. I'd be doing events. I'd be doing like nightclub management or something. It would definitely be within the nightlife industry.
Someone said that you currently in a cell.
No, I'm in my studio. It's quite messy at the minute.
Let's see it. Turn the camera on. Let's see.
It's bad. It's bad. Hang on. I don't know if you can flip. Can you flip camera on this?
Yeah, you can.
So like, that's like, yeah. This is where I'm doing my live streaming. So
okay,
I've got all my stuff there, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a shithole. You can just see bare alcohol and stuff.
So mine's dead there.
It's an absolute shithole.
So I know you like your tracksuit. So like, do you kind of, when you're DJing, do you not care about being stylish or wearing nice clothes? You just want to come down in a tracksuit, just chill.
I remember the tracksuit thing started because I always wore tracksuits. Like that was just like my go-to thing to wear every day. And then when I started getting booked, like obviously my whole life I had to dress up in jeans and whatever when I was doing gigs because I would have turned up in a tracksuit and they would have told me to like piss off. But when it got to a point where they were booking me, I thought I can maybe try this tracksuit idea out.
Yeah.
So the first few months I was still turning up in like jeans and like a hoodie and that. But then when I felt like I was at a stage where I could maybe get away with it, I just rocked up in a tracksuit. And so many times at the start, security would be like, nah, like not happening, you're not getting in. And I'd have to ring like the manager to come outside, and he'd probably be a bit annoyed, but he'd just be like, yo, like he's DJing, like we can't let him in. And then I think word went round that like whenever you book me, I'm going to be in a tracksuit. So it got to a point where people were like having bets and people were talking on social media saying, what colour tracksuit is Nathan Dawe going to wear? And I remember there was one time in Manchester, Club Live, that was the hardest club to get in with a tracksuit. And I remember rocking up, and the geezer on the door, I don't know who he is. It was years ago now, so they might have changed security. But he was a knob, and he was just saying, "I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing."
Oh,
you
standard lines.
Yeah. And like, it got to the point where I had no more clothes at the hotel, so I was saying, I'm meant to be DJing like in 20 minutes, bro. Like, I'm in a tracksuit. I wear tracksuits everywhere I go.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll go through the back door, play, and go out the back door, so I don't walk through your club. No, not happening. You ain't playing. So I was like, whatever. So started walking off, rang the promoter. He came out, managed to pattern it, had to go through the back door and out the back door. And I worked
the way you said managed to pattern it, it's like the promoter couldn't even pattern it.
No, I know. Like, honestly, mate, the notorious, like, fucking stylist says, like,
yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm not backing down, because I'm not trying to flex in a tracksuit to like say, oh, I can get in a club in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
The idea behind it was always thought out. Like, it was always brand awareness. When I spoke about my brand being like a really important thing, my brand was, whenever you see me play, I'm in a tracksuit. So at that time, I was so like hell bent on sticking to my guns. It wasn't like an ego thing. It was like no, you've booked my brand. That's my brand. If you don't like it, I won't play. And it was, you know, I had to go through that to make it acceptable now. And like, obviously now, anywhere we booked, we're expected to turn up in tracksuits. The whole crew's kitted out in Adidas tracksuits, and it's now become the brand that I was trying to make at the start. So
yeah. Which club is it in Manchester where they change the bottles to the table? Like, stylish, you know.
That's Live.
Like, is that Live?
Well, I've had bottles chained to a table in Live. That's probably because everyone smashes it on each other's heads.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, when I first saw that, what's the point in a bottle show, and then you can't even pick up the bottle and pour it anywhere?
No, it's crazy. I think when I was there, I don't like talking bad on clubs, and I'm not talking bad. I'm just talking a genuine experience.
Yeah.
The management, when I spoke to them and got through to the managers, they were cool, but I got treated very badly when I was playing at Club Live. But it was a very, very long time ago, and like they wouldn't get me. Yeah, they wouldn't get me no drinks. They wouldn't get me nothing. And all I wanted was some waters. And nah, you got to buy them from the bar. I was just like, look, let's get in, get done, and piss off.
Knowing that Young T and Bugsy have hit the Billboard charts, would you want to make a hit with them?
Yeah, man. They're my guys. When they were in Zante and they come to my show and they were like, bro, can we jump on? I was like, 100%. And then I brought them out and they performed it and we got on really well. And I would love to do a tune with them because they live in Nottingham, which is only about 20 minutes from me. And I think it would be nice for just the East Midlands scene to be able to do a tune together. And I know they're doing their thing, their vibe with like their style of music, and mine's quite different to them right now. So I'm hoping one day in the future we can kind of cross over and do something that works for both of us. I think with JK coming on Flowers, that has shown that like there's definitely a market for that urban scene to like mix with that commercial house scene and become like an urban house record. And that's a direction that I'm thinking to take it in. So
you know what?
Maybe
it's crazy. It's crazy with the power of TikTok. Like, made that tune worldwide now.
Crazy, isn't it? That's the thing, man. You gotta be taken seriously. It's a new wave. I remember listening to, I think it was Haynes on a podcast he was doing.
Yeah.
And he mentioned about how different it's going to be now going back to the clubs, because TikTok was already big before lockdown, but it's got even bigger. And I'm thinking now, like, when I go to the next club I DJ at, when I drop Megan Thee Stallion, Savage, it's going to be like dropping Cameo Candy. Like, the whole club is going to do the dance, and everyone's going to be videoing it. And I feel like it's going to get to a point now where DJs are selecting TikTok records because you know it's going to fill a dance floor, and you know it's going to create a vibe, and people are going to have fun videoing it with their mates. And I think that's going to become the norm now. Big up Dom Bryant.
Yeah, big up Dom as well. Speaking to him yesterday, but yeah, I feel like it's a weird one to see what's going to happen with the clubs. Like, no one knows what's going to happen.
No, but like, think about it from a DJ's perspective. Like, you've lost a bit of the dance floor. You're thinking, shit, like, why have I left? Why have them people left the dance floor? You bring out a TikTok tune, everyone's coming to the dance floor because they're going to dance the dance on the dance floor. Like, and even me, like, I will bring people up on stage now and say, who knows the TikTok dance for whatever, Doja Cat? And I'll choose 2 people to come on stage and do it. And like, I'm telling you now, like, TikTok is going to change the way we know clubbing forever. I'm telling you.
Oh, Stylus, I should have actually. Were you live on that one, or was that just a podcast? Yeah. They were just saying Day and Stylus were talking about this.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like Dom's just said, like, Tuesday Slide.
Tuesday Slide, yeah.
It's literally going to be like, I'm excited though. I've heard some people are saying like, oh, it's going to ruin clubbing. I'm thinking, no, it's not. Embrace it. It's the new culture. Like, it's the way the world's going. It's new technology. It's new everything. Like, if I've got loads of people enjoying their night, videoing with their mates, having a laugh, taking the piss, and having a dance, I've done my job. I've given people a bit of a getaway from normal life, and they're having a good time.
I feel like TikTok's the new source of Spotify for me, you know? Like, I'm learning some new songs just of TikTok. Like,
I'm not a big TikTok, like, I don't use
I haven't
TikTok.
got it. I ain't got it, but I've learned from my sister or from family members who got it. Yeah. Like, these new dances, they're coming out with these songs, and I'm like, I haven't actually heard this song, so.
But I think people, like Drake probably did, are going to be making music for TikTok now. So as long as the quality doesn't drop of the records, I'm cool with people TikTok dancing or whatever you want to call it at my shows. I'll encourage it. I ain't bothered.
Yeah, Zai just dropped a new tune for TikTok as well. So
who has?
Zai.
Oh, I've not heard that.
Yeah, he just dropped it. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, just like for a little TikTok dance kind of thing. I feel like what you're saying, like a lot of artists are gonna start doing that to get their crowd engaged during this period as well. Yeah,
you got to utilize what the tools are there, innit? Because everyone else will. So if you don't, you'll fall behind. Like, obviously we did that. I did that flower challenge. Like, I spoke to my label for what can we do to get TikTok going. We came up with the idea of chucking flour on people. So I was like, right, I'll try and get a video sneaking up, doing it on my sister. Took about 5 days for the right moment. Did it, put it out there, and we've had like over 3 million views from everyone else doing it now, and we've jumped like 5 places in the charts this week.
Just from doing that.
You know, it's not necessarily just from that. But it most likely is. Yeah. So TikTok's powerful, man.
What was your inspiration that got you into music?
I just remember going to like parties when I was like a kid, and going to like birthday parties. And I remember all the other kids were like sliding on the knees and playing with fucking balloons, pretending they're footballs. And I just used to stand there and just stare at the DJ and be like, it's mad how that guy's playing music and everyone else is listening to it. And it's up to him what we hear. It was just fascinating. And then, because I used to just stand by the end, I probably looked like a weirdo, to be honest, because I was just standing at the end of the DJ booth as like a 8-year-old kid. And the DJs would say like, yo, do you want to come up and do you want to watch? And I'd come and watch, and just not anyone in like specific. There wasn't like a big DJ that I thought, oh my God, you're my inspiration. I just always loved the idea of being in control of the music.
So I said, you got any up and coming songs? So I think you said it before previously.
Yeah, we got probably, I'd say 2 or 3 that are like fully finished, and it's deciding which one to go with next. And then there's probably 4 or 5 other ones that are like in the vault that we're going to be working on at a different stage. But we got tons coming, man.
Best way to get a season in Napa?
I spoke about this at length with like DJ Kane Townley on his podcast the other day. So if you actually are really interested, I recommend you listening to that, because I went into it in a lot of detail. But
I listened to that.
Like it was quite a good insight. I've never really opened up as much, but I would say if you're choosing to do a season abroad, you must go there as early as possible. Don't just rock up in like June and July and expect to get the best gigs, because them slots are already sorted. Clout means nothing in these countries, because you're talking to a Greek or Cypriot man that hasn't got a clue about what's going on in the country at home. So like, that's not disrespect. I'm just saying that they don't know DJs from England, like, unless they see it on Facebook and stuff. But even then, they're a bit, out of sync. So I would say you get there as early as possible before the clubs are even open. You try and get trial shifts and use the mic a lot, interact with the crowd, and you know, basically play what the club want you to play, like just to get your foot in the door. And then when you've got your foot in the door and you've been given an opportunity, then you can try and like excel and like show your own qualities. But you just got to just be like polite and just get there early is my number one tip.
How many wheel ups have you done on a song?
How many wheel ups have I done? I know the answer, but I know you're going to ask me what song it is, and I can't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
That's why I'm trying to delay it. I probably did about 7 wheel ups, 8 wheel ups, which for my set is a lot. And it was in Faces Essex. I'm giving them so much promo at the minute because I've said their name about 5 times. And I can't remember the song, which is going to annoy me. I want to say it was Robbery Remix, that Man Don't Talk Man Rob.
Okay, yeah.
And like that, I think it was that, but I could be wrong. But I think it was that when it first came out, and like I'd drop that and it would just go mad.
7 wheel ups, man.
Literally, bro, like one after another. I think in the end they were thinking you're taking the piss now. Like, get on with it. Me and my little crew that was there, he was loving it.
Yeah. Irfan just asked, what's the guy's name on Insta so I can watch the podcast?
If you message me, I'll send you a link to it. I'll send you a link. Just message me.
Do you want me to just pin it on the thing?
Yeah, you can if you got it there.
Yeah, okay. What? Oh, you don't have the...
Not on me, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll send it.
Oh, yeah, so also Tom Zanetti, because Jordan just brought Tom Zanetti up, so like, do you think he's still doing bits, or do you think he's kind of taking a rest? What?
Tom's my guy, man. Like, Tom has shown me love for years, and he came to my O2 show in Birmingham to come out as a special guest for free. Like, When You Want Me was massive as well, so like he didn't have to do that. I get on with Tom so well, and like he's such a good laugh. And I don't know, maybe people might think he's gone a bit quiet now because he's not commercially in the charts right now, but he's still bringing out music and he's still doing his thing and he's still earning P. And you know, he's got the qualities that is needed to be successful. So he'll choose when the time's right for him to bring out like another commercial tune.
What's your dream gig?
I've probably already played my dream gigs, like doing my O2 show and doing Box Park and doing your Ushuaia, but I would love to play at like Reading and Leeds or Wireless.
I'm surprised you haven't done Wireless or Reading or Leeds, because you've done We Are, you've done V.
I mean, we got kind of provisionally booked for Reading and Leeds this year.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not going ahead now, I'd assume.
I thought they were going to wait it.
Yeah, I want to do that like Capital Jingle Bell Ball thing, because that's like 80,000 people at Wembley. So that would be really cool to do that. So hopefully that, and hopefully one day play at Villa Park in front of a sold out stadium.
Wireless is a good one though. Like, I mean, I also Reading and Leeds as well.
Wireless is a bit more urban, so potentially I'm not at that stage yet where they'd look at booking me, but maybe in the future.
Big label when they don't take unsolicited demos.
I was talking to someone today about this as well, and I think it's different for everyone. I got approached by the label, so I've never had to like approach a label, but when I used to have to produce when I had to use back in the day when I used to have to like approach festivals or like clubs, I would always get a no. So I live by the motto of like, you know, no one wants you like until like you've given them a reason to want you. So I was prepared to bring Cheating out independent or with like a really, really small label and wait for a label to like knock on the door and give me a chance. And it literally played out like that. We were bringing it out with a small label, and then, you know, just before it got released, Atlantic, you know, got in touch and said, well, wait, we want to offer you something. And like, that was really lucky for me. But I'd say for others trying to approach a big label, I would say you've just got to try and just email as many people as possible, expect no replies, but still tick it off your list. You've got to try and hand deliver when we can go back out properly, hand deliver demos to people, wait outside the Warner offices or the Universal offices, like, and when people are walking in, just say, yo, I'm an unsigned artist, here's my stuff. Like, do things that are different than just sending a bog standard email and waiting for a reply. Like, you just got to grind.
Here's a question. Oh, sorry,
I was trying to sit up a little bit. That helps.
Sorry, my bad. Let's see what else. Everyone's asking, are you coming to Moomoo's Derby?
I'm gonna come back to Derby, man. Like, Moomoo's, people might look at that brand and think it's a little bit cheesy, but the one in Derby is different to any other one in the country. Like, it goes off. Craig, who owns it, good friend, like, he has turned that place into a mazza. The DJs that play there, like KB, they smash it.
Yeah.
And it goes off. Every time I go out in Derby, I'll go Moomoo's. Like, it's sick. So I'm definitely going to go back there.
Do you read any books that have helped you grow your brand and more?
No, I'm not a reader. And I know a lot of people that do read books and it helps them. But I personally don't. I don't think I've ever read a book, like, other than school days. But I think my branding, when I was a kid, I used to, like, design websites and stuff as, like, a hobby.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped me understand branding and the power and the strength of, like, a powerful brand. So I think I've just kind of self-taught myself.
Okay, there's more questions. Right. How is it running your own festival?
Yeah, like, I don't know if he was here earlier when we spoke about it, but
no.
It was extremely stressful. It was exciting, but I didn't sleep. Like, I had sleepless nights for 6 months leading up into it, getting everything ready, spending a lot of money, and then obviously in the end it got screwed over and we had to move to a different venue. So very stressful, but you know, I wanted to always try and do something different and create new things, and I don't regret it, but lost a lot of money. Yeah.
What were you more stressed about, like the money side of things, or was it like the ticket sales, or was it art?
No, it was never the money side of it, because I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think I could afford it, and I could also afford to lose. I did a lot of, like, calculations, and I thought, okay, we can do it. But the stress was little. Like, you'll probably laugh, but I'd be lying in bed at night and I'd think, have we got crowd control barriers for the queue, or have we got an area for the artists to go and go for a piss, or like the food vans? Are they how many food vans are we going to have? And it was a lot of work, and me and my team worked non-stop on it, like non-stop, and we got it to the point where we were ready to go. Like, we were ready to go, and then obviously it got taken away from us.
Have you DJ'd in London, or are there any clubs you've DJ'd in London before? Or?
Oh yeah, I've done, like, Windsor. I've done quite a few clubs in London. I've done Croydon. I've done
Croydon.
I've done Croydon.
Came down to South.
Yeah, I've done Croydon. That was quite an experience.
What did you do in Croydon?
I couldn't remember. I was just about to say I can't remember the names of these clubs, man. Like, I've done Croydon. I've done what's the one that, like, Kingston. Done Kingston.
Prison?
Done Prism Kingston. Yeah.
Okay.
Done quite a few in London. Yeah.
What ages were you when you played the festival?
And Ministry of Sound as well. Georgia, my girlfriend, tuned in. She's reminded me of that. Ministry of Sound, that was sick, man. That was another bucket list thing.
Ministry, yeah, definitely. What age were you when you planned the festival? Don't know if you can answer that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was 25. No, 24. I don't want no more questions about festival, because it gets me wound up.
No more questions.
It's like a nightmare every time I hear it.
Top 3 cities to play in.
Is that yes, Edson? I think I've been through this. Birmingham, Sheffield, Essex.
I think, yeah, the Birmingham scene is crazy right now. You know what? Like, when I've been doing these interviews with the Birmingham DJs, like, it's helped me connect with them as well, because I never used to connect with anyone who wasn't in London.
Yeah.
And
no, Birmingham's always been killing it. And I seen some tweets the other day about Birmingham and Manny, like, bit of a rivalry there. It's only, like, light-hearted. I rep both for both cities, man. But obviously Birmingham for me is my home, so I'm always going to rep them hardest. But I think Birmingham's got what I like is like Leeds, they all help each other. Birmingham, they seem to help each other. Manchester, they seem to help each other, and everyone kind of really looks after their own. And I think that's nice. But for me, like Birmingham, it's not like it's necessarily the best DJs, but I think there's a lot of DJs from Birmingham that are coming through and trying like a lot more than maybe other areas. But as a collective, like as the whole country, like Manny especially, everyone's just working relentlessly to just try and better themselves and better the brand, man. So it's just so sick to see.
When will you bring out a new song with JK? I feel like you got to let this one settle for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we can get away with doing another one anytime soon. We obviously
I was going to ask as well, like, when do you think is the right time to drop a tune? Because, like, do you think, oh, once this one's got in the top, let's say 15 or top 20, you're like, okay, it's time for a new one, or you like, let's wait?
Yeah, I mean, my manager is Craig David's old manager, so he's a very experienced guy, and he's helping me a lot and like guiding me with the right decisions. And we're getting the tune done now so that as soon as it's time to strike, we can go. And I think that time is going to be when, at the minute, Flowers is growing every day. Like, we're getting more and more plays every day. We're getting added to more playlists and every single day. So it'd be silly to try and bring something else out now when we haven't peaked yet. So I think as soon as we start seeing Flowers move into like the 30s, the 40s, and out of the top 40, that's when I think it's time to strike.
But do you think it's time to strike? Like, let's say we're in quarantine for much longer. Do you think you're gonna drop in quarantine, or do you think you're gonna wait till after?
That's another thing that I've been talking about with my manager. Like, do I wait until 5 weeks before we're allowed to go out again, or do I do it as if it's normal? I think it will be just as if it's normal, like, because it could be a year, and I think you've got to capitalise on the relationships that I've made with at radio and Spotify, with this tune being so successful. In a year's time, they'll probably forget about me if I don't bring nothing out. So I've just got to keep bringing out banger after banger and hope we get back as soon as possible.
Biggest talent in Leeds?
There are some sick DJs. I've obviously got to big up Danny T, very successful. But there's tons of DJs. You've got Josh Weeks, you've got Noah. I hate listing names because I know I missed them.
Because then you'll miss people.
And then they'll think, what a dickhead. Like, he didn't shout me out. But every time I go Leeds, I've been shown bare love. And every DJ, like, I think Leeds pretty much take over Malia every year. Like, all their DJs from Leeds are like Malia legends. So, you know, a lot of DJs up there, like, in my eyes, are sick.
You've been listening to the NS10 V10.
Do you know what? I've been seeing it on Twitter and I was thinking, what the hell is this? And then I looked, for the first couple of times, I didn't know what it was. And then when it was like the N-Dubs versus Western one, I went on there and I checked it out, and it's been pretty sick. So
the WizKid and Vibes Cartel one was good.
I didn't watch that, man. I need to go and watch that back.
You know what? Like, even WizKid was saying, like, Vibes is actually a legend. Like, he's got tunes for days, basically.
Mate, weeks.
Would love to see a song with yourself and H. Yeah, H is doing bits as well.
Yeah, so would I. I might need to remortgage my house to pay for a verse. But I mean,
how tough is it, like, approaching artists as like for yourself? Do you think it's easier because you've got a name for yourself already, or?
Depends, man. Obviously, like, I'm cool with a lot of these artists. Like, I can speak to H, or I can speak to Young T and Bugsy, but I think it's like a respect thing. Like, I see Young T and Bugsy and H, they're doing bigger things than me right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know them well enough to like ask for a favour. But like, JK's smashing it, but we're good friends. So I knew I could like pick the phone up and say, Jay, I've got an idea. What do you think of this? Are you on it? And he's like, it sounds sick. Obviously, we get on. Why not? So I think if you've got a relationship with the artist, it's a lot easier. But if you're just approaching people formally, like by a label or an email, they're going to try and charge you big money because they know you're coming to them to make your tune more successful. So it's business.
So for a new DJ, what advice would you give?
I think you just got to, you know, believe in yourself, work hard, and like I mentioned numerous times, like create an idea that is unique and different to anyone else, so you can stand out more.
What kind of, in your opinion, what makes a good DJ?
I think like it's different for whatever like the consumer wants. Like for me, I go to a club and I'm not listening for the most technical mix or the best scratching. I'm going to the club to hear hit after hit, and that's how I've kind of run my DJ sets. If I'm playing the tune, and maybe the official right way of DJing would be to wait till after the first chorus or the second chorus and mix out of it. Like, but I think, do you know what? I feel like the energy right now, I just need to pull this up. I need to say something on the mic and drop this one. I'll do it. Yeah. Like, so I don't put like the technical side of trying to smash a mix in front of dropping bangers at the right time. So I've been much more of a fan of selectors. Yeah. I see myself as a selector. I have been much more like in awe of sick selectors than sick technical mixing DJs, if that makes sense. People with big knowledges of music that can drop, you know, hits that you've forgotten about and just chop them in at the right time. That for me is my idea.
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's like if your crates are so deep that I'm like, you're hitting all these tunes from back in the day, then tunes from now, like it's just everywhere. You know, you can chop and change, and it's all, yeah. It's great to see Commercial House gaining more popularity. Will you see a collab with Joel Corey?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Commercial House is, especially now I'm kind of mixing this urban side into it, it's really successful at the minute. Like, I think a couple of years ago, it was a lot of the Afro swing, which was like breaking through massively. And now I think it's house again. Like, DJs like myself and Joel, like Joel's been doing resident DJing for years, as well as me. And like, to see us both like move from that into a bigger platform off the back of releasing Commercial House is, it's great to see. And like, maybe one day me and Joel will come together and make something. But at the minute, obviously he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and when the time's right, it will happen. But it is really good to see that like Commercial House is becoming a lot more like requested and wanted in the club scene again, because it used to be.
Yeah. So Rusky asked this to Charlie when I was on live, and he said that, do you think the garage scene, funky garage scene, will come back, or do you think someone needs to put a different spin on it?
It's awkward. Like, it depends, because technically, like, for example, Joel with Sorry and me with Flowers, we've put a spin on garage, and I've got 8-year-old kids in Dubai, like their mum and dads are sending me videos of these kids singing Flowers, and like, they didn't know the original, and it's growing the original record, and it's getting more people aware of that genre through the new versions that are coming out now. So I think people put like, and obviously like AJ Tracy with Dinner Guest, and obviously Mist on his version with Fredo, like the lads again, like that old school garage vibe, that's banned. So I think people putting a spin on garage is going to be a good way of getting the genre, you know, more popular to people that didn't want to know about it.
So would you consider producing drill, or have you done some already?
I don't think drill's my lane. If anything, I'd probably be more of a commercial, like Afro swing beat, and potentially get a drill artist on it. But I don't think I've got no plans of bringing a drill tune out just yet.
I feel like drill, it's hard. It's a hard thing, because I like drill, but it's like, will it die out, or will it prosper in the next couple of years?
Who knows, man? It's gonna be one of them things, bro. Like,
literally,
it depends. If the quality's still there and the demand's still there, it's gonna grow.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna take a couple more questions. Let's see, what's this one? It's too long to actually read it, but with myself trying to get into music industry with messaging different producers, not having much luck, would you give me, is it advice? Give me a chance to show what I'm capable of doing.
Is he asking me to give him a chance? Yeah, bro. Like, send me some stuff. If you DM me on Instagram, I'll give you my email address, and if you've got anything that you want to show me, and I'll give you my honest feedback. I always keep it real with people. If it's crap, I'll say it's crap. If it's got potential, I'll say it's got potential, and I'll be as, you know, critical or as non-critical as you want. Just let me know.
See, this is what I like, because I know there's a lot of DJs or artists as well, who kind of stick to their circle, which I don't mind. Like, people like to feel secure in their circle and everything, but it'll be nice to kind of look at the younger generation and the up and coming people as well, because even though I know that me as a DJ as well, I wouldn't give all the techniques away, and no one would, but
Yeah.
I'd like to get skills and techniques from other people who I kind of look up to. So that's,
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's just always going to be a thing though?
I think it will be. Like, it's natural. I think it's the way of the world. Like, really, I think that's just the way things go.
Someone said, have you had any nightmares with sound tech and issues?
Yeah, just the standard things, bro. Like, I remember once I was playing in Napa. It was one of my first gigs in Napa, and before I went on, they said, "Don't worry, but the amps keep overheating."
Don't worry.
Well, yeah, they said, "Don't worry, the amps keep overheating, but before you go on, we're going to turn it off and on. So give us like a few minutes so that we can like hopefully get through your set without it going off."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, right, cool." Went on stage. About 7 minutes into my set, went off, and it was quite disastrous. But to be fair, I can't remember the tune at the start. I feel like it was, I think it was when the Jeremy Corbyn thing. Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, and they were singing like when it went off, they were going, "Oh, Nathan Dawe." I was thinking, all right, cool. It could have been bad. It could have been like wanker, wanker, whatever. But that was pretty cool. But the only other time I would say it's not a technical thing. This one isn't. But I was playing at a nightclub and I was DJing, and as I was setting up my laptop, like a glass went past my head, and I thought, okay, the club was rammed, you couldn't move, and I thought that was weird, but maybe it's just, you know, because the crowd's going mad.
Yeah.
Then I was setting up, and then another bottle got thrown at me, but obviously at the time I thought people were just getting too drunk and throwing their glass in the air.
Yeah.
So I started my set, and then about 5 minutes into my set, another glass come flying past my head and smashed into the back of the DJ booth. And it's at that moment when I thought, like, I'm actually under attack here. And like, I got another one thrown at me and it hit my laptop. So when it hit my laptop, I just like got my laptop out, walked off stage. Everyone started booing and that. I was thinking, oh my God. And then the owner came backstage and said, like, what's going on? I was like, mate, I'm being thrown, I'm being bottled. Like, what's going on? And he was like, no way. He's like, right, give me a second. He went on the mic at the club and was going like, Nathan Dawe's not going to come back out unless you all grow up. And then he goes, we're not starting until we found the person who's thrown these bottles. And this guy owns like pretty much all the bars in this town. So he was like, when we find the people that have thrown this bottle, you'll be banned from all my clubs and bars for life. They went on the cameras and they found the guy who did it, dragged him out. Everyone was like booing at him and chanting stuff at him. And then in the end, we walked back on stage, everyone cheered and gave me a massive round of applause. And we went on again, and it was one of my favourite gigs in the end. But that was the only time I've kind of had anything.
You've thrown a bottle at your head, basically.
Yeah, man. Like, I think everyone will have them type of stories. Like, not necessarily a bottle, but there's been a lot of things. Like, I remember the other day when I was listening, Russ said that, you know, someone tried to jump him or whatever after a gig. And these things happen, man. Like, when you've been booked and, like, you're in the limelight at this show, there's going to be people out there that want to try and take the limelight off you, and whether that's throwing a bottle or trying to fight you or whatever, man, it can be quite dangerous. But as long as you surround yourself with the right people, you're all right.
So I'll take this as a last question, and I'm just going to wrap up and everything. So did performing come natural, or were you nervous for a while?
It's mad because I'm very confident on stage, and I wouldn't say I get nervous, but I'm very confident when I'm like behind my decks. When it comes to like walking to the front of a crowd, I get a bit nervous or whatever. But when I'm behind my decks, it's like my safety net, and I'm cool, I'm fine. So I don't get nervous. The only times I get nervous is if I'm like about to play at a massive festival or I'm about to go and do my O2 shows, because you know that everyone's there for you, and like they've been waiting for months and months and months for the night to come, and they're expecting big things. So I do get a bit of nerves before my O2 shows, but usually I'm all right.
Mm-hmm. So, but bro, I appreciate this. Like, I appreciate you coming on. You know, this is like, as you said, this is the first one you kind of done. So yeah, hopefully I set the bar.
No, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
And like,
I hope I answered as many questions as possible.
appreciate everyone locking in. So like, if you want to give me a follow, any up and coming DJs or artists who are, even Alfie, get there. Alfie, I'm gonna try to get you next week as well. Just hit me up because I want to just keep the community together and everything. Just
definitely, man. You're smashing it. Keep doing your thing, man. Thank you for getting me on.
Thank you everyone for enjoying.
Safe.
And
see you all in a bit. Safe.
Thank you, bro.